Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Battle City number 6. We open up this 3-match show with a quarterfinal in the Ash Blossom Championship Tournament. Introducing first, 1/5 of the SPD Power Rangers, Lizzie, the Yellow SPD Ranger. Hello everybody and welcome once again to Battle City number 6. We are just a couple of weeks away from Massacre, the major 3-day monster event that is culminating on day 3 on May 24th with a huge CIW Heavyweight Championship match. But on day 2, it'll be main evented by Battle City's own finals of the Millennium Championship Tournament. And so stay tuned for who's going to face Kratos, because that will be our main event here tonight, the semifinal triple threat. Meanwhile, Lizzie of the SPD Rangers looking to move her career forward ever so slightly, although ever so slightly is actually quite a huge step up for Lizzie, who has been here from the beginning but has not amounted to much. Here comes Black Cat, the second participant in this matchup, who has had a number of CIW Women's Championship opportunities and has come up short on every single one of them, but there are some of them that have not been her fault. In all fairness to Black Cat, it's not like every time that it's happened, it's been her fault, but her attitude since joining the KNUX Connections has not helped matters, as she and the KNUX Connection and the SPD Rangers have been going after it and have been having it out with each other for the past several months, as the SPD Rangers beat the KNUX Connection to face the Paradox Brothers in a tag team matchup that came unsuccessful. But now let's see if Black Cat can get some victories of her own here today. Let's take a look at the bracket before we get this matchup started. Ash Blossom Championship Round 1. Here we go. And now a collar and elbow tie-up to start this matchup. I am the Sentinel here to bring you all the action, as next week we've got Massacre Drummer's Call taking place, the pre-show, which is the week before the big 3-day event. We've got a lot of stacked matches coming up, but while we're in the middle of this Ash Blossom quarterfinal, I do have some announcements to make from the counselor of production for Battle City, Maximilian Pegasus, in regards to what happened last time that we saw each other on Battle City 5, where Wonder Woman was a sore loser after having lost to the Wii Fit trainer, that she attacked Wii Fit trainer and gave her the Amazonian leg drop after the match. Maximilian Pegasus has decided that as punishment for those actions and for tainting the integrity of the tournament, Wonder Woman is now banned. Oh, what a power bomb! What a power bomb by Black Cat. But I was just starting to say, Wonder Woman is now banned from the next Ash Blossom tournament that takes place in Battle City, which means, and it may not be right away, that the next time that we have the Ash Blossom Championship tournament, Wonder Woman will not be allowed to participate. We feel that that is a fair assessment for taking what was the purity of this tournament cycle and trying to steal some glory and being a sore loser. So Wonder Woman will pay the consequences for her actions, although I am being told by Michael Corleone that Wii Fit trainer and Wonder Woman is now confirmed to be a match that will be taking place at Massacre. So more to come between those two women, to be sure. As this quarterfinal matchup continues, so far neither of these ladies able to make a major move happen except for that power bomb, but it has been back and forth in the early going. Now Black Cat has got nice fireman's carry, take a drink or a scoop of ice cream. I'm going to grab my water myself. And nice roll up. Oh, nice roll up there. Could be over. 1, 2, and only 2, as referee Luke Goss barely he's had his hand coming down for 3, but it was not enough. And now just the slaps from Black Cat, as Black Cat is desperate for some wins here, as she has been very frustrated. She's gotten so close so many times to capturing the championship gold that has not been able to do so. And there was a feud between the Pink Ranger, Sydney, and Black Cat that lasted several months in CIW's history, and Lizzie, who has really never been able to break the glass ceiling and get a definitive singles victory in the entire time she's been here in CIW, and a win against Black Cat not only would add insult to injury to the whole Keanu Connection SPD Rangers ongoing feud, but additionally would propel Lizzie several steps in what her individual career needs have been. You know, it's been very difficult to be a female in the SPD Rangers, and now nice Hurricanrana there, and now just driving right hands into the skull of Black Cat. As folks, we do have another Ash Blossom Championship quarterfinal after this match, as we've got Marle from the Chrono Trigger series taking on the ambassador for the ladies division, and making her debut in CIW, Gardner from Yu-Gi-Oh!, one of the vast, stark defenders of friendship when she's not being possessed by Merrick. As we've got plenty. Oh, wait a second. Lizzie going for that Space Patrol Delta Brainbuster. And I am being told that she actually taught that to Jack Landers, and it has been successful on all fronts. But will it be successful for Lizzie here tonight? And oh, now just slapping the skull. Slapping the skull, and now it's over the top suplex, and I don't know if it was smart for Lizzie not to go for a cover there. As Lizzie, when she hits those big impact moves, she needs to make a cover. Nice spinning heel kick there from Lizzie. And now just slapping, and might be getting a little overconfident. We've seen that from Lizzie a couple of times. Most notably when she and Bridge, the Green Ranger, took on Sydney and Skylar, the Blue and the Pink Ranger, who have been had a noted relationship, as the Yellow Ranger is just trying to find it. Now, the Black Cat just taking another second. I think both ladies taking another second just to reanalyze how they approach this matchup, as it has been back and forth basically from the start. But I'm not sure that Black Cat thought that Lizzie would put up this much of a fight, considering that she's been known as kind of the runt of the Rangers, and considering the ground that covers, considering how much losing that the Power Rangers have done prior to this year and the Red Ranger coming, that takes in a lot of ground, and Lizzie trying to take up and beat that reputation here tonight, and a nice DDT there, as she has been working steadily on the head of Black Cat, and a meat wallet mutilating punch there. Take a drink. Sometimes it's all about sending a message. And the message, oh, wait a second. And how about this message being sent? Another Space Patrol Delta Brainbuster, as it has been made useful by Jack Landers, the Red Ranger, but it was introduced by the Yellow Ranger. The cover here, center of the ring. 1, 2, 3. She did it! As the Yellow Ranger, after taking that monstrous, thunderous power bomb to start out, Black Ranger tried to do it again, and it was countered by the Yellow Ranger, and ultimately the Space Patrol Delta Brainbuster was enough to put Black Cat away. What a career-defining win, the biggest win of Lizzie's young career here tonight against Black Cat, as she advances to the second round of the Ash Blossom Championship Tournament. Can Lizzie stun the world? Let's take it to the bracket before we get started into our next matchup. Our second matchup here on this 3-match card of Battle City number 6 is another Ash Blossom quarterfinal matchup. Introducing first, from the Chrono Trigger series, the damsel in distress, the master of the ice 2, Marle. As Marle got actually the biggest win of her career was over Black Cat herself, as we just saw a big win from the Yellow Ranger. Marle looking to have something of a landmark win in her own right, trying to advance further into this tournament, but she has got an unpredictable opponent in Gardner, who we have not seen at all in CIW, the second of our 3 debuts in the CIW women's division, and this one coming with a little authority behind her, as Maximilian Pegasus brought Gardner to the CIW fold as an ambassador and the ambassador for the ladies division. So really the overseer of what the ladies are doing, but not known to be a wrestler, not known to be a successful duelist either. So a very interesting debut for Gardner. Can she make her impression and have the same chip on her shoulder, the same way the Paradox Brothers did when they debuted? But we will see whether that comes to pass against Marle. Let's take a quick look at the bracket before we get started. Ash Blossom Championship, Round 1. Here we go. And Gardner getting some preemptive strikes there against Marle to start out this matchup and to make her debut here in CIW. And as you just saw in that graphic, we have some major second round matchups on the horizon for the Ash Blossom Championship, as Marle taking a moment to get her bearings against Gardner. As we've got Yellow Ranger, who just won that matchup against Black Cat, against the former two-time CIW champion Padme Amidala and Lana Kane. As we're going to see that semifinal matchup after Massacre, as well as Ivy Valentine and We Fit Trainer, who are both looking on and probably on the premises, anxiously awaiting the winner of this matchup, as either Marle or Taya is going to have to take on the We Fit Trainer and Ivy in that semifinal matchup. All of those semifinals for the Ash Blossom Championship are happening after Massacre. Same thing going with the Tag Team Championships, the Mirror Force Championship semifinals. Those are also taking place in the Battle Cities after Massacre. We will see the conclusion of both of those tournaments, most likely at the Brawlbarbecue on 4th of July weekend, as both Taya and Marle taking a significant amount of time to gauge each other out. Definitely picking their spots here to start out this matchup. As Marle also fairly new to the CIW roster, having only joined back in the spring of last year. And it's been a mixed bag for Marle in the early going. As Marle from the Chrono Trigger series, which is admittedly one of my favorite games of all time. I love that game. It's a time commitment, to be sure, but it is one of the best RPGs that has ever been made, in my opinion. Not to say that there aren't holes in it or there aren't things that aren't great about it, but I do really respect that game. It's kind of formed my love of that RPG genre. I'm sure that to some degree it influenced my love of Final Fantasy as well. And a nice hip toss there from Taya. As Taya looking to, and you know, I thought this was probably maybe the most controversial hire of any of the ones that Maximilian Pegasus brought in. You know, the Paradox Brothers as the tag ambassadors, you know, I'm not necessarily fans of their attitude, but we get it, right? You know, they're known to be good athletes. You know, they're known to be pretty dynamic as a duo. Taya's really not known for success, you know, both administratively as well as, and a nice spear into the corner, as well as any sort of athletic ability. So it was kind of strange to see her get that, a nice sunset flip, but too close to the ropes. And referee Luke Goss smartly breaking it up. And now just a moment to get their bearings from Taya and Marle here in this final quarterfinal matchup for the Ash Blossom Championships. The Ash Blossom Championship tournament, that is. Of course, the stipulation is if you win one of these belts, you can cash it in for a CIW Championship match equivalent at the time of their choosing. So for the Ash Blossom Championship, whoever wins this tournament will be able to challenge, well, either Yuna or Lara Croft, depending on who wins their match at Massacre in a couple of weeks' time for the CIW Women's Championship. But it's basically like, if you've ever watched TAW, it's like the Excalibur Championship stipulation or Money in the Bank, but the title, but each title has a specific championship equivalent. So the Millennium Championship, which is the semifinal matchup you're going to see coming up next in our main event, the winner of that Millennium Championship match is both of these ladies really taking their time and picking their spots here and trying to gauge each other, and it has been hard to get them to come in and actually land some blows. And I appreciate the ladies taking their time so I can explain all this. So, the Millennium Championship, whoever wins that tournament will be able to cash in for a championship match against the current CIW champion Majin Buu at the time of their choosing. The Raigeki Championship, a tournament we're going to have over the summer. That is the equivalent for the Exceed Championship, the Mirror Force for the tag titles, and the Ash Blossom for the Women's Championship. And oh, what a running knee! Oh my God! A running knee, almost a shades of Mr. Wrestling 2. There, Johnny Walker with that running knee lift. An impressive running knee lift from Taya Gardner. As Taya, you know, definitely has done her homework. Might be one of the few canonically in the series who has now a headlock. And Elwood's going here for a thigh squeeze. It's Taya Gardner trying to make her impression here in her debut. Both Ivy Valentine and Lana Kane won their debuts in CIW, and a nice running knee there from Taya. And should that be the case, I mean, and there must be a lot of pressure on Taya too, in addition to being an authority figure in CIW, but the fact that the other two debuts have also won their matches and a big slap to the back and just knocking Marle down using a surprising amount of strength that I did not know that was capable with this wonderful woman in Taya Gardner. I can't speak. Taya Gardner. That's how wonderful she is. She leaves me tongue-tied. And among other things that are tied, but I'm not allowed to speak about those things and now I'm getting several texts from several members of the council to keep my mouth shut, so I will speak no more. Which is also part of the thing, but anyway, and now nice over the top suplex, take a drink or a scoop of ice cream. But I'm a big fan of Taya myself. And you know, normally I don't reveal who I want to win in these matchups, and I love Marle to death, but I really have gotten to know Taya Gardner as a member of Authority, and she is a wonderful, wonderful lass, and I wish her nothing but the best. And I do hope that she does find a way to persevere here against Marle, but Marle, she is very capable of winning this match herself. That devastating Ice 2 moonsault that she does that from the middle ropes. But now Taya Gardner, and I'm not really sure what Taya's got in terms of a finishing maneuver. I have not been notified. As actually it's being revealed to me here, it's trying to be revealed to me. As Taya Gardner has got the power of friendship is what she calls it. As I find that to be a rather perverse irony. But I give her the credit because she is maybe the person who is the biggest advocate of the power of friendship, and yet acting alone in this singles match here tonight. And oh, wait a minute. Marle, Taya outside. Marle goes for an elbow drop and only hit her with like the back of the heel. And it was definitely not enough to do any lasting damage, but that headlock takeover on the outside definitely doing a little bit more as Taya's starting to look a little more injured here, as Marle doing her best to move on in this Ash Blossom quarterfinal matchup. Getting back into the ring, countouts will count. So referees count up to 5, and Taya gets in before the ref gets to the count of 6. But Marle here with a big sweeping DDT, knocking Taya down as she is not looking good, as Marle has taken firm control of this matchup. And you know what she's looking for. And now a punch to the meat wallet. That's just rude, Marle, but a message sent. But that's the kind of moves you have to make if you want to advance in this tournament. And another meat wallet mutilation. And that one felt a little more personal than the first, as Taya Gardner using that heel to kick off Marle here. And now in what a what a high angle DDT. And did you see the way that Taya's head just smashed the mat? Absolutely brutal, and then folding her in half as Marle is starting to build up a head swim, a swimming head of momentum, as the metaphors are abundant and confusing at the same time, folks, just the way we like it. As if you have to look up to know what we're trying to say, then you know that the impact is strong here on Colonial Impact Wrestling. And now just this headlock, just trying to wear down and slow the momentum of Marle down. It's a smart strategy by Taya Gardner. As Taya now a counter there from Marle. As I'm not sure what Taya was aiming for, but Marle was able to counter it with a back elbow. And now a nice over-the-top suplex. Again, take a drink or scoop of ice cream. But Marle's starting to feel the effects of this matchup as well. And now a Luthez press. And now just raining down punches to the skull of Taya Gardner. Now bringing Taya to the center of the ring. Ice 2 hits the Ice 2, and that could be enough to put Taya away. Center of the ring. 1, 2, 3. As Marle with a major victory, beating Taya Gardner in Taya's debut. And it's not to say that Taya didn't put up a hell of a fight, but ultimately, the center of the ring Ice 2 has downed a number of opponents, and Taya Gardner fell victim after a major, major wave of momentum from Marle, some great offense, and a big-time win for that young lady right there, Marle, who has got a huge chip on her shoulder and has got a hard matchup with Ivy Valentine, as well as We Fit Trainer on her shoulders. But what a win for Marle. Let's take a look at the bracket before we move on to our main event. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our main event. Introducing first in this Millennium Championship triple threat semifinal matchup, King Leonidas. As the man who is in his Record of Ragnarok attire has made tremendous waves since showing up in CIW at the end of last year, dominating Kratos, beating him in a best-of-3 falls to kick off away. Wait a minute! What the hell is the Penguin doing here? As King Leonidas, who pinned the Penguin in the quarterfinals, in the fatal four-way matchup, the Penguin is assaulted. Now wait a second here. And I thought, do we have any security? I don't know if Pegasus was prepared for this situation, as now just using that steel chair on this match hasn't even started yet. As the Penguin is picking a fight with the wrong dude, as I don't know of anyone I would ever choose to selectively bring here. What are you doing, Penguin? Penguin, what are you doing? Oh no, not a Penguin plunge! Landing Leonidas right on his head, and somebody get the Penguin out of here as he's getting out of dodge, as he has just left King Leonidas, as we're now going to try and figure out what's happening here. We've got some trainers looking at Leonidas, who it looks like, I guess we're going to keep going here, as security is now converged at the Penguin. And boy, if Wonder Woman was banned from another Ash Blossom tournament just for being a sore loser, I can only imagine what Pegasus is going to do. But here comes Ri'saad, who is going to make his way to the ring, as Leonidas, we can see in the far corner, is back up as if it didn't even happen, because that is one insanely tough dude. But I guess the Penguin was a little jealous, considering that it was a big time shot, or at least as he lost to the Penguin. I'm not even sure that the Penguin was the one pinned by King Leonidas. I'm pretty sure King Leonidas pinned Kiani Mundi, but the Penguin somehow, for some reason, butthurt that he lost that quarterfinal matchup and decided to take it out on King Leonidas. Not a smart move, in my opinion, as King Leonidas, I'm sure his attention is going to be a little diverted in this match, as opposed to being focused, as Ri'saad could be a dark horse in this matchup. The Counselor of Finance, who has been in the middle of his own kind of pseudo battle with Abizzle over the budget, as Abizzle spending a lot of money on new suits. Ri'saad wants to stop that. Ri'saad opening up the budget in certain areas but not others, and Abizzle, who is the Counselor of Talent Relations, wants that money control back, as this year is the first year that he has not been in control of the finances, which in my honest opinion has been for the better. It's been a lot more stable, but Abizzle's still pissed about it. Here comes Dante, who has been in the middle of an ongoing feud with Freddy Krueger, which also stemmed from his victory in the quarterfinals when Dante pinned Freddy Krueger to advance, and then they had a one-on-one matchup that closed out Saturday Night Hype a couple of weeks ago. But the winner of this will face Kratos in the main event of Day 2 of Massacre in a best-of-3 falls for the Millennium Championship Finals. And Dante having a huge opportunity here, but can he get past Ri'saad and King Leonidas? Let's move on to the bracket. Millennium Championship Tournament Semifinal. Well, and all three of these guys, they are hungry for it. They are thirsting for it, and you know Kratos is watching intently. Most notably, probably at King Leonidas. As if Kratos and King Leonidas end up meeting for the Millennium Championship, you have to imagine if they face each other in another best-of-3, it is going to be straight up mayhem. And if I were Dante and Ri'saad, I would be going almost exclusively after King Leonidas, almost double-teaming him from the start. Get him out of this equation, because he is going to be, even with the attack from the Penguin, he is going to be incredibly devastating. Oh, and a nice schoolboy from Dante, and Ri'saad right there to break it up. As all three of these men would love nothing more than to be in the main event. We've got 3 major main events for Massacre. Of course, the Millennium Championship Finals, as we mentioned, on Day 2. Day 1, we have now got it confirmed that Sephiroth will defend his TAW Championship against the man he beat for the belt. And there must be a winner in the match. Sephiroth versus Liu Kang in the main event of Day 1. And then, of course, Day 3. the CIW Heavyweight Championship on the line. Majin Buu, the champion. Symbiote Spider-Man, the former heavyweight champion, the challenger. In a huge series of main events, plus Drummer's Call next week, and a big German suplex from Dante, smartly not allowing King Leonidas to capitalize. As all it's going to take is one big phalanx bomb or that devastating This Is Sparta kick that we have seen just decimate Kratos and decimate everyone in sight. I mean, that Fatal 4-Way was not even close. It was like King Leonidas against 3 guys, and admittedly, the Penguin and King Leonidas did fight for a good chunk of that matchup, as King Leonidas taunted the Penguin at one point, and inflicting, and I do remember that in the middle of it, just staring him down as he did a phalanx bomb to, I believe it was Kiadi Mundi, but it also could have been Jimmy Corderas, who was also in that matchup. And now Dante getting back into the ring, as Jimmy, I am happy to report, is still the counselor of officiating in the way. Not even a 1 count. Leonidas threw Ri'saad into the ring, and Dante immediately went for a pin, which was, I think, both kicked out of and broken up, as Dante so far has been trying to find as many answers as possible to King Leonidas, and now just stomping on the back, using the ropes for leverage, is Dante. And you know, Dante would love nothing more than to capture gold in CIW, has had an incredible career so far in CIW, having beaten legends like Satan, the first ever CIW champion, as well as the Grim Reaper, who are now both under his control down in Helheim. They are doing all of the administrative work of hell, but Dante does oversee all of it. He is now in control down there, and oh, what a clothesline. And amazingly, Dante did not get clotheslined over the ropes, as I don't think he got all of it, did Leonidas. And Ri'saad, he's got that big skooma stabber that he pinned Abizzle with in the quarterfinals of the tournament. Seems like all 3 of these guys, whoever they have pinned in the quarterfinals, has come back to haunt these 3 gentlemen in one way or another. But it could be irrelevant for all 3 of them, or for whoever wins, because it is going to be a hell of a matchup between whoever Kratos faces. I mean, I can imagine Kratos and Dante would be big. Kratos and Ri'saad would be interesting. Cover from Dante, 1 and only 1, as I believe that Leonidas was a little too late on the breakup and that Ri'saad kicked out on his own. And of course, Kratos and Leonidas, you know, Kratos, it would love to face Leonidas once more and try to just get the count back together, punch to the dick, and try to redeem himself against the one man who was used to be his friend, you know, back in the Magnation days. Spartan Fury, one of the most dominant, maybe the most prolific Magnation tag team of all time. Dare I say it? And I'm not talking factions, I'm talking just individual tag teams. Oh, small package, 1, 2 to advance, and only 2 as Leonidas kicks out of the small package from Dante, who has been trying to go for those little pins from the very beginning. Uh-oh, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good, and a fall-away slam to the outside. Down goes Dante, as Dante has been trying to come up with every crafty way possible to secure a victory here tonight. But Leonidas, all he needs is some major power moves, but you have to imagine Leonidas is just a little bit distracted at what the Penguin tried to, or at least attempted to do, right at the beginning of this matchup, right as he was, at least King Leonidas was making his entrance. Penguin ran behind him and hit him with the Penguin plunge and got out of dodge, and I am being told that there will be punishments, although I am not entirely sure what punishments are going to be inflicted on the Penguin, but we will have answers for that hopefully soon, ladies and gentlemen, from the Counselor of Production of Battle City, Maximilian Pegasus. But now just a pair of chokes. Oh God, Dante, calm down. Dante just leveraging choke slams. And oh no, this one to the outside. 3 consecutive choke slams to Ri'saad. And that is gonna do a damage to anybody, let alone the Director of Finance, or I shouldn't say Director, the Counselor of Finance. And watch out, Luke, as those errant kicks could come back to hurt you, as he caught a little bit of a stray from Dante. And folks, there's only one way if Lucas goes down to make sure his medical bills are paid, and that is to like, share, subscribe. Oh, and a miss, a counter, and a German. What a German. Every time we try to do this plug, it's interrupted by action, as that was an incredible sequence as King Leonidas attempted the "This is Sparta" kick to Dante and was not able to hit it, but Dante came off the ropes and tried and hit a big German instead. As King Leonidas is, I think, showing a little bit more respect for what Dante's doing. Wait a second, sunset flip, Ri'saad could steal it. 1, 2, and only 2 as Dante kicks out. Leonidas was showing maybe a little respect for Dante, considering that Dante has been doing an incredible effort here to try and maintain, and now a double team onto Ri'saad as Dante trying to do everything in his power to secure victory here tonight. Oh, wait a second, and a big monkey flip, and down goes Leonidas. And even with the assault in the beginning of this match, it's going to take a lot to keep Leonidas down. Forearm, as Leonidas has not been pinned or been made to submit since he has debuted in CIW. And that has been a huge, and the way he debuted on the very final thing we saw at the end of Stand on Business. As a matter of fact, King Leonidas launched our new era, our new graphic era, and our better picture era of Colonial Impact Wrestling back last August. And he has been dominating ever since. And nobody has been able to find a way to stop him. And now, what a clothesline. And that knocked all of the wind. And now down goes Leonidas. As Ri'saad was down for a while as Leonidas was thrown out of the ring and gets right back up. And now a kick to the gut. As Dante tried to get some separation there, some one-on-one time with Ri'saad. As Ri'saad just trying to stay in this matchup, and a nice neck breaker there, trying to do exactly that, but he's starting to feel the effects of all of the punishment that Ri'saad has taken. Now both Leonidas and Dante leaving the ring, trying to get away from whatever it is that Ri'saad was going to do. Both guys not giving Ri'saad the satisfaction. And he is very nimble. A cat going onto the top rope, that could be very dangerous for everyone involved. And now a big chin lock. And look at the torque that he is wrenching the chin is Ri'saad. And now Dante. Dante with a small package. Small package to advance. 1, 2, and only 2. Just barely kicked out did Ri'saad. As Dante has tried every little way possible. Springboard and missed. As Dante got right back in the ring just in time to miss the contact. And a "This is Sparta" kick, but it only clipped Dante. I don't think he got all of it, but it must have hit him somewhat. And Ri'saad back in the ring and breaks up the count before it starts. And oh no! Luke Goss is down. And I think that when Ri'saad went to break up the count, he might have knocked down Luke Goss in the process. And I'm sure that wasn't intentional, but it did save the matchup. As now all of these men out of the ring and Luke Goss coming to. And again going for a cover after a ring throw-in is Dante. And you could tell that Dante really understands the urgency in this triple threat match. And a springboard from Leonidas and unsuccessful. And Ri'saad not attempting whatever top rope maneuver he was about to attempt. Now look at all this. Now kicks Ri'saad out of the ring. Now it's Dante and Leonidas. Leonidas, because he is leaning on whatever resilience he's got left. As Dante with a big neck breaker there. Ri'saad is down. And oh, wait a second. Ri'saad is down. We might be seeing the 666 from Dante onto King Leonidas. Could Dante shock us and be the first man to pin King Leonidas? And he hit all of it. The cover here. 1, 2, 3. Only 2 as Leonidas powers out. And a headlock takeover right out of it. As I thought that would have stunned me. As Dante's a hell of a competitor, but from what we've seen of Leonidas so far, that would have been a shock. And now another double team here on Ri'saad, who's got back in, and he's not looking good. And now Dante throwing Leonidas out of the ring. Ri'saad is looking hurt. And well, so is Leonidas now. After taking that 666, Dante took something of a "This is Sparta" kick, although he didn't get all of it. Oh, wait a minute. Dante dialing it up. He might be dialing the 666 onto Ri'saad. Ri'saad's busted open. Leonidas is on the outside. He's still incapacitated. Hits the pop. Could be it to advance to the Millennium title. 2, 3. He did it. Dante, after we saw this, and that had to have been a factor. Prior to the match, the Penguin plunge that we saw from Penguin give to Leonidas. But ultimately, the 666, as Leonidas was out of the ring from Dante to Ri'saad, got the big man out, put the cat in. The cat's out of the bag now as Dante advances to face Kratos in the main event of Day 2 at Massacre for the Millennium Championship Finals in a best-of-3. Thank you for coming to Battle City. We are now at the bracket, and we will see you at Drummer's Call.